All right, guys, so it looks like Brendan Schaub cannot lie, legally speaking.
Well, thank God for Brendan's quick-thinking lawyers who got him to sign an affidavit admitting that he is in fact in full control and knows all the facts and details about the lawsuit and its status. Ladies and gentlemen, we now have a legal document proving that Brendan Schaub is full of and he signed it himself.
I just saw a video that Podcast Cringe did. He does a lot of these videos about comedians and, you know, it's that niche kind of thing, right? Talking about comedians and all that stuff. So basically, in a nutshell.
So as most of you know, back in 2022, Bappa the Business Shark launched a copyright lawsuit against a small YouTuber called Kyle, who goes by the name Unique.
Now, this kind of uncovered a lot of things, right? Because also, you know, with the small YouTuber being Unique, or Kyle Swindles, as his real name is, he pretty much says, and his lawyers say, that Brendan is not really responsible for all this lawsuit stuff. They're saying that there's like a ghost lawyer out there that's doing this for him.
All of the clips I'm going to play for you right now have been quoted in a legal filing by Kyle in a motion to dismiss Brendan's appeal on the basis that he is not in control of Thick Boy Productions. This is from Kyle's filing, and it's hilarious. Business records filed with the California Secretary of State show that podcaster and former comedian Brendan P. Schaub is the principal officer of Thick Boy Productions. In fact, Schaub is the only officer of Thick Boy named as the Chief Executive Officer, Secretary, and Chief Financial Officer in its most recent filing. For all intents and purposes, Brendan Schaub is Thick Boy and is solely responsible for all business decisions of the entity. Schaub sells Thick Boy merchandise and bills himself as the Thick Boy himself in promotional materials. So get this, for the rest of this filing, Brendan is referred to as Thick Boy instead of his actual name. Oh, that's brilliant. Sounds like the ghost lawyer is a comedian himself.
Now, the problem that Brendan seems to have is that he keeps saying it's defamation.
I cannot express to you guys how redacted Brendan is for getting into this mess, but let me try. Take a look.
Yeah, that's the thing with, like, you know, defamation of character, stuff like that. That's even like the narrative on me, which I don't talk about with, you know, I have a lawsuit against this YouTuber who's a small-time YouTuber.
Okay, so why don't we look at the real facts and details? In Kyle's recent motion to dismiss, it says, it appears that throughout the pendency of the litigation, Robert Allen has not given Thick Boy updates or explanations as to what is happening with the case. Thick Boy's CEO Schaub publicly spoke multiple times about the lawsuit in the last 2 years, but seemed to have no idea that it was actually a copyright infringement case. In fact, he continually called it a defamation of character case, supporting his assertion that he has not been properly informed by his counsel. And then he references the clip that I just played for you.
You know, so basically Podcast Cringe has all the paperwork here. For the past 2 years, they've been going at it. It has not been going well for Brendan because, I mean, he kind of lost the case, right? But then he appealed it. So it has to keep going. And Kyle's and his lawyers are trying to find a way out to, like, you know, inevitably win the court case and also stop Brendan from lying about this whole lawsuit, because every time he goes to a podcast, he keeps saying that it's defamation, which is not.
But have you done anything to try to like suppress this or like get on top of it? Like, it's just,
What do you? No, there's nothing you can do.
I mean, can you sue people? Have you tried doing any of that?
No, I mean, we have a lawsuit with a guy who made like 3,000 videos. Again, if you're gonna critique stand up or my fight picks or my football picks, all good. That's what the internet's for. Now, if you're gonna go out there and defamation, like, you know, whatever, Brendan hits his kids or beats his wife, well, then you got my attention. I'm gonna come after you.
Oh,
yeah, that game I don't play, and the guy's suffering from that. So.
Now, some of you probably remember that clip from a video I made last year, pointing out how Brendan had no idea what the lawsuit was about and how he potentially just screwed himself by talking about it publicly. And now, finally, it made its way into a court filing. Take a look for yourselves. Almost 19 months later, a YouTube page called Hot Breath Comedy Network posted an interview with Schaub on December 12, 2023. The interviewer asks Schaub how he handles negativity online, which led to this exchange. We just saw that in the clip I played. It goes on to say, Robert Allen declined to explain why his supposed client was so uninformed about the litigation when the question was raised in lower court filings. These statements bolster Thick Boy's allegation that it was defrauded, it has not been apprised of the progress of the lawsuit, and has no interest in moving forward. Thick Boy has clearly not given informed consent for its counsel to move forward with this copyright infringement appeal. In fact, the appeal filings indicate that something odd is going on with this case. Thick Boy Productions is a Colorado corporation based in California with a principal office address in Calabasas, California. Yet this appeal was filed under a mailing address in Florida that has no official affiliation to Thick Boy Productions or its legal counsel, and appears to simply be a single-family house in a residential development. All available evidence suggests that Thick Boy has no knowledge of this appeal, no interest in pursuing it, and the action is being controlled by somebody outside the organization without the consent of the company's CEO, secretary, and CFO.
Basically, the reason why now he can't lie is because his lawyers had to keep backtracking with Brendan, because he kept lying with a whole bunch of different interview he does. He keeps saying the same lie to different podcasts, and so they had to, reconfirm that no, it's a lawsuit, it's a copyright, it's basically a copyright claim lawsuit, right? But Brendan doesn't get it, so now they have to get Brendan, basically him confirming that he is the one that runs the company and also knows what he's suing Kyle for.
Well, thank God, and people don't realize this, and even if he's doing dragging it out, it's pro bono. I don't pay anymore. So if whatever issue they have with it, I couldn't tell you what's going on with it. I couldn't tell you when it's going to end. I know nothing about. I don't associate with them anymore. I couldn't tell you. I could not tell you. Again, I take accountability because that's all. I have to give these people jobs. I have the wrong people around me that I hired, horrible people, right? I have this business guy that had no business managing any of my shit.
Bad information.
And I'm at a time where I'm not steering the ship, and it's not good.
So Brendan thought he was clearing things up for the record. He was doing his best in every facet to explain how he is no longer associated with the lawsuit. It's out of his hands. These other guys are taking care of it pro bono, which clearly he has no fucking idea what that actually means. And here is what Kyle's filing said about that clip. So Thick Boy had ended its association with the former business manager who was handling this case and knows nothing about the litigation. Thick Boy is not receiving updates from its legal counsel. This raises an important question regarding that previous delegation of authority. If the employee who was controlling the litigation is now gone and Thick Boy knows nothing about the lawsuit and has no interest in it, who is making the decisions? Thick Boy makes it sound like the former business manager is still handling the case without authority. As far as decision-making authority, Thick Boy stated, "Your boy's back. I've been back about a year now. I run everything. Everything you see is me. Everything you see is my decision." Obviously, this is confusing. The original lawsuit was filed in February 2022, and this appeal was filed in March 24. Schaub wrested decision-making authority of Thick Boy's operations away from the former business manager a year ago and has no knowledge or interest in the current litigation. This indicates that Thick Boy never gave consent for his appeal to be filed and move forward. Wow, that's some good ghost lawyering right there. Thank him. And speaking of lawyering, I would pay good money to see the look on Brendan's lawyer's face when he saw this legal filing and then went to watch all the clips that were quoted. Imagine the slow closing of the eyes, the acceptance that your client is a redact, and then scrambling to undo everything Bappa just said. Well, this is what they came up with. And I'm going to try my best not to laugh while I read this to you. Stay strong, brothers. Here we go.
Basically they have Brendan confessing to that he knows this and he knows that, and he knows that the lawyer that he did hire is in control of the situation.
Declaration of Brendan Schaub. I am the CEO of Thick Boy Productions. In February 2022, I appointed Robert Allen as Thick Boy's lead counsel in this action. Mr. Allen has regularly communicated with my business manager Lex McMahon and me regarding the status of this action. Mr. Allen had full authority from Thick Boy to file the complaint against Kyle Swindells on February 28, 2022. Mr. Allen had full authority from Thickboy to file the notice of appeal of the District Court's decision on March 1, 2024. Mr. Allen continues to have full authority to act on Thickboy's behalf in all matters associated with this action. I understand that Thickboy has fully participated in this action as required, including making the decisions to file the lawsuit, responding to discovery, and deciding to file the appeal. I understand that Thickboy's complaint in this action alleges that Kyle Swindell's committed copyright infringement and not defamation. Oh, I almost made it. I understand that Thickboy filed its opening appeal brief in early May 24 and that the parties are currently waiting for a decision from the court.
And he's getting other things wrong too. Like Brendan keeps saying it's pro bono. For those that don't know, it's like basically saying that it's free and he's not paying for it.
Clearly, Schaub is misusing the term pro bono, as an attorney at a top LA law firm would not switch a rich celebrity's case to a pro bono cause.
Some people kind of say that it might be because of his dad, because his dad is the one that, you know, pretty much funds his production studio, Thick Boy Productions.
The detectives over at the Fighter and the Kid subreddit found out something about Brendan Schaub, something that I already knew, but I thought I would relay that information to you, and that is that Brendan Schaub does not actually own his company, Thick Boy. His father does. So they found the filing number, Brendan Schaub's dad's name. So they found the filing number, and lo and behold, the company is in Brendan Schaub's dad's name.
Thickboy's speculation that this lawsuit may only be a legal cash grab by his attorney reinforces that the term was used in error, but nonetheless this case has dragged on for over 28 months, and Thickboy is claiming that it did not pay for the appeal and its voluminous brief filed by its elite legal team. The Thickboy legal team sought approximately $13,000 in damages in the lower court, so a contingency or no cure no pay agreement does not make financial sense. This raises more questions about who is controlling this litigation and whether improprieties are afoot. Regardless, all evidence points to the conclusion that Thickboy Productions is not a willing and active participant in this lawsuit.
They got Brendan right now in a tight spot, and it's so hilarious now because, you know, we know this guy to be such a blatant liar. Where, you know, now he has to either stop or he will face some sort of consequence, which I don't know. I don't know what it might be, right? So anyway, guys, that's it. That's all I got to say about it. Leave a like and subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about this. And I'll see you guys for another video. Bye-bye.